Hey, no name. We're trying to see if it's gonna work today. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm doing this one at a time to find out. That's not the way I wanted that to go. So we'll find out. Yeah, no rapture, hopefully. It might happen though. Right now we have this running, Twitch is running. I'm gonna try the vertical in a second, see what happens. See if it drops frames again. Yes, I know, guys. The horizontal works. It's the vertical that's the problem. Says excellent. I wish you just told me what the bitrate was. Hey, Lane. Oh, yeah, and guys, we figured out it was an issue with YouTube. Hey, Arcus. I don't think I missed anyone over there. No, Arcus, you were the first one. We're not dropping frames so far. All right. 1 minute in and the stream is still up and running. And where did... Oh, my phone's right here. I was like, where'd the phone go? Today's quote, there will be times in each of our lives when we will be the ones who need help and encouragement. Let's commit now to always do that for each other. That's a nice one. Okay, looks like we're up and running. Without dropping any frames. So now let's make sure it works when I also pull up TikTok. That's the real kicker. Make sure it still runs. So ran for 2 minutes on its own without dropping frames. So that's good. Okay, everything should be set from yesterday. Boom. I still forgot that I put that up there. Gotta work to sit more over here. It's very hard for me. I don't wanna. So it also means I gotta change this. Nope, other way. There we go. Okay, now it's over my corner or my shoulder or something. Also, guys, Saturday, you'll probably notice that like it'll be slightly different where I sit on camera. Starting Saturday when I go live, and then Monday it should, as long as everything comes in that I ordered. I know I did that on purpose, Chris. As long as everything comes in that I ordered, hopefully, everything will be different. And yeah, I do mean everything. That's the plan. I totally forgot to turn that off. Yeah, guys, send in all your heart me's over on TikTok. That's not what I want. Sorry. Hey, Moose. Hey, hey, hey. Oh my God. Hey, yo, Chris. Mart. I give up today, guys. Yay, it's working today. I hope everybody got to go and visit someone else while it wasn't working yesterday. Gave other people a moment to, you know, not have to compete with me or something, I guess. Not that I'd say anybody's really competing with me. We're doing good today. Hopefully, not being on yesterday doesn't mess with the algorithm for the tubes. We'll see. Why did that set to only 12? Whatever, I'm not fixing it. Guys, clear out the live goal quickly. It's only 12. Over on the TikTok streets. Should be the easiest one ever. All right, I need to finish this. Oh, that's good. I need to call my dad, my stepmom. That's not what I want you to do. Hello? No. There we go. Hate when it doesn't do what I want it to do. All right. Yes, Moose, it was an issue with the tubes. And since I primarily use the call-in system, I obviously get calls from the tubes, right? So there is that. TikTok, let's go ahead and get these likes up all the way up to 2,000 real quick, because that's what gets everything started. Y'all run the show. You just don't realize it sometimes. Oh, are they on right now? Okay. Thank you, Eric, for the $4.99 to start us off. Hey guys, listen. You're just a mod. Listen, I will be on earlier than I normally would be on Saturday, I believe. I might just a little bit earlier. Because so normally I go on at noon. It might be just a little bit earlier than noon. Because I have to go and pick up my stepdaughter, and her and I are going to do things to get her ready for homecoming. So that'll be cool. Anything you guys happen to send my way today is going towards paying for her stuff. So just putting that out there. I know that's really random. It's up to y'all always if you send anything, but anything sent my way is gonna go to making sure she feels how she needs to feel for her homecoming. So I think that'll be fun. And thank you, Danny, for the jewels. Hi, guys. One more heart me. Let's finish that out. We're almost at 2,000 likes, guys. Thank you for the party hat. I wish I could see it like the TikTok gifts, but they're not that way. Hey, Jeff. No, I like that one. Thank you. I know it's not on yet because Ellie, I said that TikTok has to, before I even turn it on, we have to be at minimum 2,000 likes before I even think about turning it on. So it's not on yet. Oh, thank you, Eric. I will make sure to use that for her. No worries at all. So thank you for the $9.99. All right, let's go ahead and put these headphones on. Swap up this gift goal real quick. Do my normal ramp up gifts, guys. Engage with the live. And now I hear myself. Yay. All right. Here we go. Phone lines are now open because y'all tippy tapped away over on the TikToks. I like how TikTok wants to be weird. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. You're going to have to turn down the stream in the background.
Oh, I turned it down.
All right, cool. And how old are you?
18.
And are you still supporting Trump?
Yes.
Okay. And what year were you born?
2007.
Cool. All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Because I don't think we should let anybody into America, and I also don't believe in abortions. And I think we should bring back, like, lower prices and bring back the American dream.
Okay. So you just don't like other people. That's cool to know. Donald Trump hasn't done anything to support your anti-abortion mentality. since he's been elected president and was inaugurated January 2025, so that's a moot point.
What do you
And
mean? It's because I don't like other people.
I mean, you said that. I don't want anyone to come into our country. So you don't
I
like other
didn't say I
people.
don't
We
want
got
anyone to
that.
come into our country.
You
I didn't say
you
I don't want anyone to
did.
come into our country.
You just
I
said
said
you
I don't want
were.
illegal people here because they're illegal.
You didn't say that, actually. You just said you didn't want people coming into our country.
I definitely said illegal people. But
You did not say illegal people. You just said you didn't want people coming into our country. Yeah.
if you think that, I
So
mean illegal.
it's
because
not what
they're
I
illegal.
think, it's what you said.
Well, I definitely mean illegal.
Oh,
so-
okay. So now you want to put, okay, so now we got to add
Yeah.
more to it. So moving the goalposts, check, makes sense. But yeah, I mean, so you still just don't like people because that's not what you said at first. Also, again, I'm just going to repeat it again. Donald Trump hasn't done anything to support your anti-abortion agenda that you have in your mind since in his 8 months in office. So that's a moot point. And can you tell me how the administration is going to lower prices when CPI is increased?
Because they're not giving our money to illegal immigrants. They're actually kicking them out.
Oh, okay. So then why has CPI continued to increase then?
Why don't you ask Donald Trump, not me?
No, I'm asking, you said that he's somehow going to magically lower prices, and you're saying that deporting people is going to lower prices.
Because we're
And he's
paying less in
actively
taxes.
deporting people currently, and yet we've seen the CPI go from 2.4% in March to 2.9% as of August of 2025, which is up
Well-
from the CPI inflation rate from August of 2024 of 2.5%. So prices are continuing to rise despite the fact that we are deporting people out of the country. Do you want to know why? You can look up the Penn Wharton budget model, which is slightly right leaning when they do this stuff. But so the cost of deporting immigrants is $78,000 a pop per person.
Good, and I'll proudly give my money to that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure you would. That's very good. I'm so glad you're so
But-
proud of that. And thank you, Justin, for the 100 over on the Green app. I appreciate that a lot. That'll work just fine for Saturday.
We need it. But he's going to lower the prices
How?
because we're not giving all of
How?
our money, and we're paying less in taxes and not giving all of our money to these welfare institutions, i.e.
Oh,
why the government is
welfare
shut down right now.
institutions. Got it. So it's not the illegal immigrants that is going to cause it, because we've already agreed that they take way more money to deport them out than
We're
they
paying for
actually
their
put in. So
healthcare. What do you mean?
that's very good. I'm
What do
so
you
glad that you just moved the goalpost again. That seems to be about the only thing you know how to do. That makes sense, actually, for your age.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It has everything to do with the illegal immigrants because they're the ones on food stamps and Medicare.
No, they're not. Have you ever heard of PRWORA?
Sure.
You have? Tell me about it. And what year was it passed, actually?
It's a long, long time ago, girl.
Like, what year?
Girl, I don't know.
Girl, you don't know, so you don't know what it is?
No, you can tell me.
Oh, no, but you said you knew about it, so I would love for you to tell me about it.
But what I'm going to tell you right now is I don't think that we
Oh,
should
what you're
kill
going to
babies.
tell me
I don't
now
think-
is that you're going to move the goalposts again because you don't know?
I'm going to tell you all my thoughts, and then you can tell me what
You're
you think.
going to tell me? I don't want to hear your thoughts, actually.
Well, then tell me yours because I want to hear them.
Tell you mine?
tell me
I
what
think
you think. Why don't
you're
you support
just
Trump?
up here. I don't know. Actually, I really don't know why you're up here. You're just up here to spew hate and evil rhetoric
It's
is
not
what I
hate.
hear coming
What
out of
did I say
you.
that was hateful?
Oh, I
What did
mean,
I
you
say that
said
was
you didn't want people coming into our country. So again, you've proven that you just don't like people. You're
I like
afraid of
immigrants. I
people,
don't like
apparently.
illegal immigrants.
Again, you didn't say that until after I called you out on the fact that you said you didn't want people coming into this country. Donald Trump hasn't done anything to support your anti-abortion rhetoric. Being a one-reason voter is also just really dumb. And everything that you said so far has been a lot of, I don't know. Ask Donald Trump. Ask Donald Trump. He says he's going to lower prices. He said that before he was supposed to be, even elected. He said he was going to lower our grocery prices, but I've just seen the costs go up and up and up and
No,
up
they've
and
gone
up and up
down.
and up and up.
They've gone down.
They've
My gas is
gone
$4
up.
a gallon now, too.
No, I just said groceries. Are your ears open?
But you're just saying the prices are going up and up
They
and up.
are.
That's
I
general
said
opinion. I'm telling
groceries
you
are
that they're
going up and
down.
up and up and up and up because that's what Donald Trump promised prior to him
I don't
being
know about
elected
you, but I thought
president,
Republicans
that he was
should
going
keep
to
gas.
lower grocery prices. But we see, according to the CPI index, that grocery prices are up 3%. It doesn't matter if
Maybe in
your personal
California, when you and the
prices.
rest of the West are in,
Hey,
but not
I have a
here.
question for you. Let's see if you know this one. Do you as an individual represent the entirety of the United States?
No.
No. Okay, so great. So when we're looking at averages, it doesn't matter if your personal prices that you experience, that you pay at the grocery store, are down. The average across the entirety of the United States of America is up 3% in just 1 month. From
Now it's
July to
stolen, that's why
August,
it's going up.
according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics report released on September 5th of 2025, it is up by 3% for everyone in the United States. And I'm so glad that you've acknowledged that you alone do not represent the entirety of the United States. So the fact that your costs are down, which I don't believe for a
You know why
second,
they're up?
because
why your
again, the
costs are up?
averages are up. The only thing that you can be right about is that on average, the cost of gas is down by 0.5 percentage point. 0.5 percentage point. But the cost of electricity, the cost of energy is up for everyone. So again, costs are going up. Donald Trump hasn't lowered the costs at all.
Do you know why that your grocery costs are going up?
Because it's just what they do.
No, because the illegal people are coming in and stealing things, which raises the cost for everybody.
No, shrinkage
not just
doesn't
what
add
they
to that
do.
like that.
That's why.
Can you tell me
That's
what
why.
is shrinkage?
Shrinkage is the opposite of inflation. Where the
No.
prices of things
Yeah, I'll
There's
give you a hint. It's
inflation, and
actually
then there's
something that
shrinkage.
you already just said. What is shrinkage?
going down.
What is
Less of
shrinkage?
Less and less and less of things.
No. The inflation going down would be deflation. What is shrinkage?
Exact same thing as deflation.
Incorrect. What is shrinkage?
I just told you the wrong answer twice, and you ain't even going to tell me the right answer now?
Oh, because you can't admit that you don't know. Just say, I don't know. What is shrinkage?
Sure, I'll say I don't know.
Perfect.
Because you can't
So
admit that you're wrong, or all the things you're wrong for.
Ma'am, I've at least given you 2 sources, and you've given me jack diddly squat, except for your thoughts and feelings. So
why
I've
you
at
guys-
least given you
I'm gonna ask
sources. You
questions
haven't
about
said
the left. I
anything
wanna ask
that was
questions about the
anything
left. Why do you
relevant.
guys
So I'm going to
think
go ahead
this
and
is
help you out.
president?
Shrinkage is what it's called when people steal stuff. It's called a loss that the store takes. Shrinkage does not automatically increase the cost of goods at stores. That's not how it works. That's how I know that you're probably still living at home with mom and dad, which is perfectly fine at the age of 18. I'm going to be honest. It's literally perfectly fine at the age of 18 for you to still live at home with mom and dad. But you've probably never worked retail, and you've given that away because you didn't know what the fuck shrinkage was. Please, you are the epitome, the exact reason why I choose to usually not talk to 18-year-olds. But I gave your little sissiness a chance, but I'm done with you now. Bye-bye. That's funny, Bishop. Shrinkage is what happens to my brain listening to this caller. She's the exact reason why I don't usually talk to 18-year-olds. You said nothing of substance. I'm not trying to be rude. And you also think that everything that was being said was funny. Shrinkage is what I feel when I hear this caller. Y'all are hilarious. Yeah, guys, shrinkage is when the store experiences a loss. It's another word that stores use for stealing. It's just a thing. And it's totally fine that she lives at home at 18. Perfectly okay. Or you're in cold water. That's pretty funny too. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how old are you?
I am 29.
29. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah, there's one main reason why. In the Biden's 4 years that he ran for he was a president. Um, the max I made as a truck driver was $120,000 in a year. I was in his last year. Now, on
Do you have
Trump's,
anything aside from your anecdotal stories?
what was that?
Do you have anything aside from your anecdotal stories?
I mean, that's what
That's
I
all
thought
you
this was
got?
about. That's why I
Oh,
took.
okay. Bye. That's funny. Shrinkage is what happens when guys get out of the gold ball. Thank you, Dawn, for the gem gun. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 43.
43. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Give me 1 second, all right? If you don't
Okay, thank
mind,
you.
do you mind if I just do a quick PSA for my lives?
Okay, I'm actually live right now.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, guys,
Thank you.
over on TikTok, if you guys, when you're coming in, don't forget to hit that follow button and don't forget to hit that, send that daily heart me. I'll give you an example of what it looks like and I'll send one right now. And then it goes up right above my head. And don't forget to be double tapping that screen. We should be at 25,000 likes in the next 2 minutes. I'm going to mute you for half a second to address the other channels. I'll be right back. If you are over on YouTube, following is subscribing. Subscribing is free on YouTube. As you're watching, please consider sending a super chat. It does just help me keep doing this every day, and also become a member. I would like to see 5 new members this live, if at all possible. But mostly, just don't forget to subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you know when I go live. And then over on Twitch, thank you guys for being here. You guys just hit that follow button. If you feel so inclined, you can send bits, become a subscriber. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get 1 month free over on Twitch. And thank you guys for the first time chats over there too. And there we go. Thank you, Bishop, for sending out 5 subs. And we're back. Bishop just gave you guys an example. And okay, so caller, why is it that you are still supporting Trump? And I do appreciate that you waited for me to do that.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate being able to come on this format and speak to you. So the other candidate, Joe Biden, it wasn't that he was a bad candidate. I just couldn't understand what he said. There were some differences there. Any leadership in this country is great to me. My job is to follow that leadership. But what I got when Donald Trump got up there was I could understand what he was saying. Now, whatever religious people want to be or whatever politics, none of that really boils down in the end. I need someone that I can understand their leadership, what they're saying.
Okay, so I'm going to read you a quote. It's going to be lengthy, and I want you to tell me what this says, what question he was asked, okay?
Okay.
They said 1 year ago your country was dead. We never thought it was coming back. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. These are the leaders of other countries, the prime ministers and the presidents. Every one of them said essentially the same thing, said we had a dead country. And we felt that way. And we were, and this place was embellic of it with the crime, the horrific crime. You know, I watched these phony reports. We were on the way back, but they weren't on the way back. It was worse than just a short while ago, but now it's going to be, I think right now, it is better than it has been in years. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be far better than that. And everyone is safe now. Everyone feels safe. And they are all coming in. People are coming in now. They are making reservations to come and they want to be in Washington, D.C. One of the things we are going to be redoing is your parks. I'm very good at grass because I have a lot of golf courses all over the place. I know more about grass than any human being, I think, anywhere in the world, and we're going to be regrassing all of your parks, all brand new sprinkler systems, the best you can buy. And like the Augusta, it will look like Augusta. It will look like, more importantly, like Trump National Golf Club. That's even better. And this is only half the quote.
Okay. So as far as him know more about grass than anybody else, I would highly doubt that. I'm sure he has people that know about lawn care, owning a golf course. So him making those statements, that doesn't hold any water with me either. As far as what presidential people say, whatever they can make happen isn't up to me. It's up to the party. It's up to what gets voted in. It's actually what gets passed, what's allowed.
No,
So
I think you missed my question to you was what was the
I'm sorry,
question
go
he
ahead.
was asked?
I don't know what the question was he was asked.
Yeah, because he didn't answer. It was nonsensical.
You know, and that's you're very true on that. Political people are always going to go around and around in circles, and they're not going to actually. So yes or no questions. If you ask people yes or no questions, like me and you, if you say, Michael, you know, how old are you? Or you say, what is this? I'll just tell you an honest answer. But political people won't. That's just what they do. I don't think it determined, like, if Joe Biden, if I could have understood him, I would have voted for him.
Okay.
I'm not somebody who needs to choose a party, you know, based on like what people tell me to do.
Yeah. So can you remind me when you went to the ballot box, like, and actually, when you went when you went into the voting booth, what was
Yep.
the name for the Democratic nominee? Just curious. Was it Joe Biden?
No, not the last election. It was Kamala Harris.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, and that's very true in the chat. Sorry, it moved too fast for me to see it. So I think I'm sorry. So it was just really funny. Okay.
Maybe you might ask why did I understand Kamala Harris?
No,
Yes.
no, I'm sorry. The thing is that people miss is I asked why you're still supporting Trump at the beginning of this, not asking you about why you voted for him, right? I just went back to see if you could remember who was actually on the ticket when you went in and voted against the other person,
Mhm.
which is fine, you know, that's fine. You voted how you voted,
Right.
but we're 9 months in, almost a full 9 months into Donald Trump's presidency. Why
Right.
are you still supporting him? And it can't be, well, because I understood him better than Biden. That makes no sense anymore. You literally proved that you had no idea what he was talking about or what question he was asked when I read you just
Well,
half of his answer.
that's great. So first of all, I won't be having a choice because he's going to run the country for another 3 years.
No,
and
you do
and
have
3
a
months.
choice. The choice is you don't have to support him. You don't have to support the person that sits in the presidency. You don't have to support them. You can support America and not support the president. That's very easily done.
Well, what would I achieve if I don't support him? Now that he's there, like, how will that make my life any better if I don't support him? What will that do? How will one man myself, right? How will I make any change if I do that? Won't that just make me toxic, being involved in something I can't fix?
How would it make you toxic to just say, no, I don't support a person that's actively working to dismantle the Constitution of the United States of America and the Republic as which we know it?
That's an interesting point. I don't believe he's trying to dismantle the Constitution.
He's not trying
but
to
I think he
dismantle
will.
Did you listen to his roundtable meeting that he had yesterday?
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm going to give you an exact quote. It's going to be very short.
Mhm.
We took away freedom of speech.
Is that all you want to say? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's I said. I'm going to give you an exact quote. It's very short. We took away freedom of speech. Trump 2025.
Who was he saying that to? We took away freedom of speech.
Oh,
What is
no,
that?
he
Who
was just
speaking?
saying it to the whole roundtable. He was talking about the illegal executive order that he signed that said that flag burning is now illegal, right? So for
Okay.
everybody that's crying
Okay.
about context in the chat right now, not you, you're fine. That's the context. While he was at this roundtable discussion, he admitted, well, there's a Supreme Court ruling that established burning the flag as a right of freedom of speech covered under the First Amendment of the United States of America. But I disagree with that. So I signed this executive order making it illegal to burn the flag of the United States. Not only did he sign the executive order, within the executive order, he tried to overstep the ruling of the judicial branch, right, by ignoring their prior ruling, but also what the judicial branch does in our governing body, with arbitrarily deciding that it's an automatic 1-year sentence. A president nor a governor of a state, right, gets to decide what the sentence is for a crime, any crime. That is literally up to the judge. That is the judicial branch of government job. So he's overstepping Article 3 of the United States Constitution while actively ignoring the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and
I
is
would love to
bragging
respond to
about
that.
it on national television.
I would love to respond to that. I absolutely think you're correct. That is completely wrong for that president to do that. And people do have a right to burn the American flag. I agree. That is all freedom of speech. And he does not have a right to create, like I said, a punishment and say, this is what will
He
happen.
doesn't.
I
Yeah.
agree with you 1,000%. So now me personally, I wouldn't burn any flags because I grew up saluting the flag, and former military, I say, hey, this is just normal, right?
Yeah.
So that's my personal preference. But if somebody else wants to, right, they have that right to do that. I agree with that 100%. That's not my business. But if I see somebody burning a flag, do I want to stop that because it hurts my feelings? Yes. But feelings aren't what I need to have. Feelings are going to confuse the shit out of me, quite frankly. So I agree with you 100%. That is way overstepping the boundary. But I can't change that.
It's
in any way.
literally
I can't.
ignoring 3 parts of the Constitution, right? I only mentioned 2.
I agree.
But
Oh, no, I
it's
agree.
ignoring
Even though,
Article 2, which is his duties as written by the founders, right?
even though I'm obviously a Republican, I still
It's
agree
fine.
with you 100%. I
Yeah.
think it's great that I can have this conversation with you. Many people, I'm assuming that you're a Democratic. Many people that
No.
are Democratic, oh, okay, but sorry for me assuming that. But many people that have any kind of a conversation that are against Donald Trump, they're not able to have a level-headed conversation or anything rational. And I really respect and appreciate you for allowing me to come onto your forum here and talk to you like an adult. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, so if you support America, you should not
Yes.
support somebody that is working to dismantle parts of the Constitution. And that's what he's actively doing. Just in his one executive order, he ignored and is violating 3 parts of the Constitution. Article 2, which is the powers designated to the executive branch of government. Article 3, which are the powers designated to the judicial branch of government. And then the First Amendment. And then bragged about it on national television yesterday.
I guess that makes me want to ask you a question. If you could do anything about this, what punishment or reprimand or what was there a consequence maybe you'd like to give him? Or what would you like to see happen from that?
From what? Him
From
violating
him
the
overstepping the
Constitution?
bound-
Yeah, I would love
Yes,
for
what would-
Congress to do their job. I would love for Congress to stand up and be like, you're, especially because who gets to rein in the president when they do something wrong? It's Congress. It's literally their job. So let's say, because we already know that there are lawsuits that have been filed because of criminal charges being applied to individuals that have burned flags already, just since he did his executive order, right? That's going to make its way up all the way to the Supreme Court again, right? And if the Supreme Court reaffirms the old decision that it is not illegal, his executive order is then unconstitutional, right? And at that
Right.
point, we've known that he violated the Constitution, not just Article 2, Article 3, but also the First Amendment.
So
Then Congress
any
needs
lawyer-
to step in, invoke their Article 1 their rights to impeach him.
So any lawyer can get somebody off on that charge, like you said, because it's unconstitutional. It wouldn't stick. I doubt anyone would even serve time. What kind of message is the person sending, right? Is he saying that if you do this, there's going to be stiff consequences and we'll come and get you? Yes. Would the charges stick? No. You mentioned the term impeachment, right? Is that possible is that possible? The Republicans control the House and the Senate.
Well, that's
Is
why I
that
said
possible?
Congress just needs to do their job. Like, stand up. Like, if they are true conservatives, which means they should value the conserving right? Because it's the base word in the name conservative, is
Right.
conserving the values. If they value the Constitution, then yes, they should step up, man up, stand 10 toes down on the word conserve and conservative, and impeach the man that is actively trying to dismantle the Constitution by ignoring Articles 2, 3, and First Amendment.
So
Just
if he
in
was
one order.
impeached, you would have J.D. Vance as the president, correct?
And I would see what he would do.
Right. I'm saying to you, so would you be okay with that?
I don't know. JD Vance is not really a popular person. I know people
Mhm.
think that he is, but he's literally also used to supposedly be against Donald Trump. And then when it suited his favor, just 2 years later, he's like, I'll capitulate.
So he is a younger man, and I don't remember how old is he. Is he 40-something years old? Do you happen to know?
I know he's currently younger than Obama when Obama was elected, so he's early 40s.
Okay, so he's a younger man, right?
Mhm.
And he may have some ideas to help the country in a different way. But again, if you got rid of Donald Trump, this guy would take over from there.
I know.
So
That's
don't
why I
know.
said I would see what he would do.
Wow, I really like. So I wonder, was there a candidate that you did support or you do support?
There isn't
I
a
don't know. Do you have a
candidate right now
political-
for president because we still have 3 years. Right?
Okay, is there? Yes, you're correct. Is there a political alliance that you might side with?
No, I am an unaffiliated voter. I have daily conversations with Democrats and Republicans alike because I personally don't like either party that's representing us in Congress.
That's great. That's really good. So
Yeah.
when will they give us somebody that maybe we all could like? I like the way you think. So what are the choices? That's the whole thing. They show us two sides. They show us left and right, and there's no power in anything else. There's no libertarian side that has enough power. There's no average person to step up. I guess it's not financially affordable. That system, I don't like that.
Well, no, it's
But
not
when will they
that.
be-
Unfortunately, so there are rules with the FEC and at the federal level that determine how much funding, like federal funding, a political party can receive in order to get started. And in order to do that, you have to receive a certain percentage of the popular vote overall. And because that has not been met in a long time, no independent party receives any part of it. So they have to do their own funding at the base level. And there's just unfortunately never going to be a super PAC that's going to endorse a third party candidate to put them out there. And unless you're polling with at least, I believe it's 5% of the vote, a third party can't even participate in presidential debates. I think that it needs to be that those rules, at least for the presidential debate, should be done away with. That once we have finalized candidates for any of the parties that are on the ballots, right? Because we had 5 people that were on, at least in my state's ballot, that were on most of the ballots in the United States, right? 5 people. I think all 5 of them should have participated in the presidential debates.
Wow. You're actually a very remarkable woman. Maybe you missed your calling or you're actually in your calling. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I don't have an answer for that one.
Yeah. I like where this is going. It's really tough to call into a show like this. I was surprised I could get in. And that, people would just hear you and not try to bash you and cut you up. I thought maybe you would try to be unhappy or be abusive to me in some way, but you're not.
No, I just
Wow.
match energy. So like the first caller that came in, I was just matching her energy. Usually people don't enjoy
see.
that when I give them the same attitude they come up with.
I really like, though, that I can have a common sense discussion with you. Obviously, you're somebody that studied up everything here, and not to say that I could win, but there would be no winning against you in a debate, nor am I trying to win against you. But it sounds like you know a lot that's going on, far more than I do. But in conclusion, it's my job to support the president. Now, when the president was Joe Biden, I didn't like that, but I still supported that. There wasn't much I could do about it. And I didn't walk around and spend a lot of time saying negative stuff like people saying FJB or let's go Brandon, all these toxic things. I just wanted to stay out of that and try to live my life in peace without all that conflict. My vote is just my vote, right? But
Mhm.
it's only one small one. It doesn't control, I don't control America. I don't.
Yeah, but again, I'll just reiterate this, and then I'll go ahead and move on because again, this was a polite conversation. I do appreciate it. You can
Mhm.
support the United States of America and still not support the president because you want more from the president. If he starts to see his poll numbers go down, he might actually turn around and change because we know that he changes his decisions based off what the public is saying often. He did that when he was campaigning in 2024,
Mhm.
when he saw that he wasn't polling well on the pro-choice, pro-life movement, right? And he was talking about Florida's Amendment 4, that he was going to vote in favor of it to go into effect. Then he got flack from the pro-life movement, changed his mind, changed it again a couple days later. Like, if he starts polling poorly, or people start speaking out more heavily about him from his side, his party, then he will change. So that's what I would encourage people to consider that are really thinking about why they voted for Trump or see what he's doing actively to the United States. He will change his tune because he just wants to be the star of the show.
I really appreciate your time and your
Yeah.
expertise in this area. I generally don't talk to anybody that's against Trump that is so peaceful and makes any sense, and you surely do. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. I really appreciate talking to you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, let me go through some of these chats real quick. Thank you, Jeremiah. Immigrants, including illegal and asylum, attributed 2.2 trillion to the GDP in 2023. Yes, they also contributed just in 2024, $24 billion to our Social Security tank, and that's just people that were undocumented contributed $24 billion into Social Security that they don't get any benefits from. No, we can't call via WhatsApp. This isn't a WhatsApp number, but sorry about that. As a nation, we need to stop making excuses for politicians with, oh, that's just what they do. I know that's why I love my other topic so much, Bishop, but I do got to run my normal one at least once a week, and I've been trying to make that Thursdays. There is no right or left. They tried to censor freedoms of speech with LGBTQ plus, and now the ADL is doing the same. The House and the Senate is just joint owned by the APAC. No, I agree with you, Ralph. Congress is not above this either. Hey, Golden. And they're just as complicit with everything. They're not great with that. But thank you for the 10. Funny enough, the executive order didn't even penalize flag burning. It was penalized if it was accompanied by a criminal act. Yeah, they had to do like a one-up charge. I know there's a better word for that. Sorry, Bishop. Thank you, Astro, for the 99 cents. Thank you, Angelo, for the 199. I appreciate that. Outside of the negatives, Trump is the best president to enter office in recent years. Look at his efforts towards ending the war in Ukraine. No, I don't give him any stars for what he's done with Ukraine because he started off horribly by pulling back our intelligence sharing, which caused people to die in Ukraine. Literally, the first day they pulled back intelligence sharing. Russia took advantage of that and a lot of people died. So he doesn't get a gold star for that. Oh my. Love from Brazil. Trump is doing a great job for Brazilian farmers. Hey, if he's helping you out in Brazil, that's cool. I'm glad to know that he's helping Brazilian farmers over American farmers. That's cool to know. GOP guarding our I can't say all of that, but thank you for the 199 and valid. Last one, I hope. I like Trump mainly due to the tariffs. I believe this will help lower our taxes over time. I personally don't think I'm on either side except God. Okay. Thank you for the 5. Tariffs are a tax on consumers. Oh, thank you, Joe, for the manifesting. I appreciate that. Tariffs are a tax on the consumer. So while your taxes might lower from your paycheck, you're going to see it when you go to the grocery store. All right. And when you guys send over those chats or those bits, I do like to read them between callers. So that's why I pause between callers, but we're going to open these back up. So if you guys continue to send them, I will have something to read between callers. We get a little of a break. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hi dear, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I love the talk where you mentioned and you're very well versed about the subject. The reason why I call is because when you mentioned about the
How old are you?
flag burning, I'm 31.
Okay. Thank you. And are you still supporting Trump?
I am, yes, and I'm always open to feedback. But as of right
Okay.
now, yes,
And then what were you going
100%.
to say about flag burning? I didn't want to cut you off, but you had started
Not a
when I had
problem.
asked the question.
Yeah, not a problem. So the flag burning, I'm an immigrant, right? And I came from a country where my father, my grandfather fought for the country. And during partition, a lot of people died, millions died, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on our day of independence, we take huge pride because, like, couple generations ago, we fought so much for our country. And when I migrated to America, I had similar values of this is a new country and I contributed, by paying taxes, workforce, making best life out of it. And I did get rewarded in sense of living secure, safe life, right? And America gave me a lot and to my family. And I feel because of those values of being patriotic slash nationalism, when I see American flag getting burned, that hurts because it's a great nation and we should cherish it. But at the same time, I understand the anger in folks who are so
Sir, it,
desperate.
it might not even have anything to do with anger. Are you familiar with what flag code is?
No, actually, I do know a little bit, yeah, but not
Okay.
like
So
100%.
in the United States, our flag code is burning is the proper disposal the just proper disposal method of a flag, right? So basically, what you're saying is that people would have to hide the fact that they burned their flag that was tattered, beaten, bruised, tore up, etc., in order for them to properly dispose of the flag. Otherwise, they would be potentially arrested based off of this executive order, right? And let's be very clear that when the Supreme Court ruled on it and said that that burning the American flag was also considered a freedom of expression is because it had to be your own flag that you purchased. If I went out and stole someone's flag, then that would be stealing and then also destruction of property, right? Like those I would be charged with that. But it's specifically your own flag that you purchased, you can burn. And it doesn't matter what your feelings are about it. It's already been decided on by the United States Supreme Court that you are allowed to burn your own American flag. Now, if there are laws in states, like there are some states where you can't burn a flag, like burn anything in the middle of a street, then
Yeah,
that would be
that was
different,
where I was
right?
going. Yeah,
Like that's
that's
a
where I was going.
different
Yeah.
law. But I'm saying
Mm.
like it doesn't matter what your feelings are as of right now, it was already determined by the United States Supreme Court, who are the people in charge of interpreting the letter of the law and applying it to the United States Constitution in determining if something is constitutional. They've already determined that burning your own United States American flag is constitutional.
Okay, so burning a flag is constitutional, but
Correct.
when you do it publicly among uh, inside a protest, right?
Still
Where there,
constitutional unless there's another law that supersedes that. So again, if there's a law in place where you can't set anything on fire in a street or in a
yeah,
public venue, then
definitely, yeah,
yes, then you can be charged with that, right? You
yeah.
can be
I,
charged with lighting something on fire. But
yeah,
what it is
complete.
that Donald Trump has done is he's made it an additional charge because nobody can, according to his own executive order, you can't be charged on it alone because it is freedom of expression, freedom of speech, right? If
So
he wants it to be an additional charge with an already set arbitrary sentence, which is not something that he can do.
mhm. So I understand that
And
he does
also,
not
do
have
you?
power to do it, right?
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
have
go ahead.
any
Sorry.
power to do it. He's also executive orders. Are those laws?
Yeah. So
They're not.
my, yeah. So yeah, I agree with that. But what my point is, let's say, for example, I'm going to bring it down to homeless person starting a fire on a street, right? There's laws against it, and they get reprehended for that. A lot of time, there's a lot of lives lost in homeless encampment near my home. There's a huge encampment, and there's always fires where fire brigade have to go out and take care of them. So these are not like they do not implement each other side by side. But my point is that uh, that starting fire publicly, the intention is not of disposal of a flag. So that law does not apply on that. They are
No,
demonstrating in sense of
no. The SCOTUS
no.
ruling, which is case law, right?
Okay.
The SCOTUS ruling, which is case law, is that as long as it is your own American flag, it doesn't, you can burn it. You can burn it.
I
Okay?
but you
And you
said disposing.
cannot, I said that that's flag code. That's not law. Flag
Hmm.
code is something separate. And then I brought up the Supreme Court ruling that determined again that it is, in fact, freedom of speech, freedom of expression to burn your own purchased American flag,
Yeah, but in okay, so the laws are there, but
which is
if
Texas v. Johnson, decided in
yep,
1989.
yeah, which we have to abide by. But as a president and with our Congress, if there is some law to the lawmaking, right? Um, Getting passed, even if it is now executive order, right? Um, and if it does passes and it's upheld in court, then as
Our
if
executive
the
order is
people
law.
chose, I mean, is too much power. I
No,
agree.
that's not what I
Yeah,
asked. Are
they are.
executive orders law?
Yes and no.
No, they're not law at all.
Yeah, yeah, they're not. But
At
if
all.
you,
There is no
yeah,
yes and no. It's just no.
yeah, but federally, president is a commander in chief, and we can say they are not the law, but our military is going to follow orders from him, and in Congress,
Which has
he
nothing
can
to
get
do with
stuff done.
executive orders.
Yeah, no, it did, but they can be enforced, right?
Only to
So
federal agencies. They can't be
yes, so
enforced upon the public.
they
I
can
don't
be
even think
in.
people realize that there is so many things wrong with Donald Trump writing an executive order to try to make this law is because it literally cannot be forced upon the American public because we are American citizens, not subject to the authority of a federal agency in that regard, right? So, because executive orders are not law, they don't apply to American citizens. Executive orders can only give, like, what's the word? Guidance to federal agencies and government employees.
Okay.
They literally can't determine what you or I do
Yeah,
as citizens of the United States.
yeah,
In
I
order for
agree
it
to
to
the
be a
citizen.
law, you have to go
Yes,
through
but
what branch of
you
government?
at same time do understand. Let's say if there is an illegal immigrant burning a flag because they are in
If
rights,
it's their own flag, then it's still legal.
they are not American citizens.
No, it doesn't matter, sir. This has been determined a long time ago that every person within the jurisdiction of the United States of America is entitled to the rights and protections of the United States Constitution. Because I think people forget that within the First Amendment, it doesn't restrict it to citizens.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just like the Fifth
Yeah,
Amendment isn't restricted to
yeah,
citizens, it literally
yeah,
says
yeah.
no person, right? Or it says any
So
person. And then
then
similar
you
enough,
would
the
say,
14th Amendment isn't restricted to just citizens. It literally says all persons
so
and
you
no
would then say all
person.
the deportations are illegal too?
If they're not being given due process or the time to declare habeas corpus, then yes, they are illegal. That was actually upheld in the United AARP versus the United States. I don't, and that was a 2025 Supreme Court
So
decision.
you were stating,
2025, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
you
have
were
to be
stating,
given enough time to either declare habeas corpus or
mhm.
to have the right to due process if they're being charged with a crime or being accused of a crime, because people seem to forget that in the United States of America, our justice system proceeds on the idea of you are innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocence.
So let's put a range on about 5 million to 30 million illegal alien immigrants are in America.
The most you could say would be about 12.6. Thank you.
Okay, so let's say 12.6 million illegal immigrants are in America as of right now, and they come out, start burning your or our flag in the streets to protest so
Honest to
that they
God, I
can stay
wouldn't
in
care.
America. You wouldn't get, but
No.
what about the
Burning
people who,
something like that means nothing to me. It's, do you know how easy, like, most of like, for one, where was the flag made? If it was burned in China, then, or if it was made in China, then burn it to all heck and whatnot. Especially if it was made in China. Like, most of the flags that are on the little sticks were made in China. So when you buy them, you're just supporting like, you're just giving the communists their money, whatever.
so
So
what would
like, if
you
it's made
do
in
for
China,
the
burn it.
people?
Like, let's buy some flags that were made in America.
I
Then maybe we
agree,
can really
sure.
feel like it
Okay,
was made in
so
America. But otherwise, I
so
don't care. Let them burn. I don't care.
like Trump won by majority. So what would you do to
He
take care
didn't
of
win by
people?
majority, sir.
I mean, the most votes ever casted, right?
No,
Uh,
incorrect still. He won by a plurality. I don't People forget, and it seems like you did too. Joe Biden had more votes cast for him in 2020 than Donald Trump had cast for him in 2024.
okay, let's say plurality. Okay, the point I
Plurality,
was
yes,
making.
because you don't know the
Okay,
difference between plurality and
sure.
majority, and that's fine.
So how about what
Pivot.
would you do for the people who do find it offensive when their flag gets burned? For the people
If it was
whose
their
grandfather.
personal flag, then it's a crime because then somebody stole it from them.
Okay, so what if uh someone buys pride flag and starts burning them? Will that be
Again,
okay?
if you purchased a flag yourself and you burn your own property, that is not illegal. Now, if somebody went out, like if you went out and you saw someone's pride flag on the back of their car, right? And then you stole it off their car and you decided to burn it in front of them, that is a crime.
Okay.
It's the same as if I stole your American flag and set it on fire. I stole it. That's stealing and the destruction of your property. That is a crime.
Okay. So if a country is trying to stop um degrading their own flag, how would you go about it?
I don't care because I don't owe my allegiance to a flag.
Um, I think so. Then, what do you owe allegiance to? Like, if you participate in Olympics, you just wear USA jacket, or is it more like
Am I
when the national
participating in the
anthem?
Olympics?
No, let's say I'm putting like on international level, how would you represent like That's the identity of every American, the
Cool. If
flag.
somebody asked me, where am I from? I would just say, oh, I'm from the United States of America. Woo! I don't know if you even realize this, but we're not even supposed to make the American flag into articles of clothing. Like, that's
N-
actually disrespectful to the flag of the United
I
States
do
of
agree to
America.
that. Yeah,
But I still
I can
see
see that. Yeah.
people out there wearing swim trunks or bathing suits with a
Yeah,
broken
no,
up
yeah.
American flag. So
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't go out and wear the American flag because I think that's weird. And also, I acknowledge the fact that it is, in fact, disrespectful to the flag and it's not even supposed to occur. Our military members aren't supposed to do that, but hey, we see them out there on
Yeah.
the
I
beaches
just,
and
yeah,
shit.
like, and I don't agree on everything what Trump does, but what point I was making, I'm an immigrant. I voted for Obama. I voted for Biden. I
Yeah,
did
and you're
voted
a
for
ladder
Trump,
puller.
right?
I get it. It's cool.
Yeah, but at the same time, we don't let our flag touch the ground,
And
and we
that's
take
your
so much
country.
pride
Did
in
you
it.
not give up your
Yeah.
allegiance to your old country?
No, I did not. I still love my
No,
country,
no, no.
and
Sorry, you did
no
give up.
dual
You had
citizen.
to. Oh, you have dual citizenship. Got it. That's different.
Yeah, and I still love America, right?
Okay.
And it hurts when I see my countries
Well, then guess what?
getting
I have
berated.
a suggestion for you.
Yeah, I would love to
Look
take
away.
suggestion. That's what we've been doing.
And
Like,
that's all you need to continue to do because, again, it is affirmed in our rights by Texas v. Johnson, 1989, that Americans and even non citizens can burn the flag that they purchased representing the United States of America. Similarly enough, that if you wanted to go out and purchase a pride flag and burn it yourself, that would also be perfectly legal.
so if tomorrow 12.6 million go out in roads who are illegal immigrants who are not American, and they start burning American flags,
If they
you want
bought it
citizens to look away,
themselves,
and you want citizens of America to
well,
just
then
look away.
what do you want citizens to do? If you're going to see 3 people burning flags that they purchased
No, I'm
themselves.
talking about 12.6
Oh no,
illegal
I
alien
doubt that you're
immigrants.
going to run into 12.6 million people lined up in a
I have
row, so I'm
ran
going to
into
bring
thousands.
this. No, I said lined up in a row. You're not
No,
going
but
to
let's say
run
in
into 12.6 million
overall.
people lined up in a row. So I'm bringing this down to a
Okay,
understandable level for what you
okay.
would actually run into, okay? So if you ran into 3 people that were in a parking lot in a state where it's not illegal to burn anything in a parking lot, okay? They paid for the flags themselves. And let's just say not a single one of them were documented, okay? So just three I don't know, citizens of Spain, or
Mhm.
let's do one person from Spain, one person from Italy, and one person from France. They're all in a parking lot in a state where it's perfectly legal to burn anything, okay?
Mhm.
And they're burning American flags and none of them
Starting
are
fire.
documented. What are
Okay.
you going to do to those 3 people?
Call 911.
Great. And what are you going to tell them?
Uh, Someone is burning flag, and if there's any laws they can
Okay.
implement it. It's not my job, right? And I don't know all the laws, but
Okay,
if
let's
they
try
see
this.
fit,
Let's have this
yeah.
conversation. Thank you for calling 911. What's your emergency?
There are people starting a fire using a flag, and they're
Oh,
burning
sir,
a
it's
flag.
actually, we don't have anything. Like, where are they located? Where is this emergency?
This is located in the parking lot, lot of Home Depot.
Okay, have you spoken to anyone in Home Depot?
Uh, they are closed.
They're closed. Well, we
It's
actually have
nighttime.
no authority over a Home Depot parking lot where no property is actually being damaged, so we can't do anything. Is the fire out of control? The only thing that we can do is call the fire department.
Um, fire does look like out of control because they're throwing them in the bushes too.
Okay. Now, see how you escalated that? But sure, we'll go
Could
ahead and
be.
sign. Yeah, no, you escalated it. We just said that they're doing
You
it
know,
in like the
because
circle. That's funny.
the homeless encampment, how many times the fire escalates and how many people died. There was 3 died one time. I'm talking about this year. Last year, 7 people
Cool.
died in homeless encampment starting a fire, and it happens all the time.
Cool. So if they purposely like threw him into bushes without putting out the fire, then that would be arson,
That's
and then that
arson.
would be a crime.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
does
But
homeless
see,
people get
you see how
arrested
I'm
over
talking
arson?
about? You see how I was talking about like where nobody's injured, nobody's hurt, there causes no additional damage because fire doesn't damage an asphalt, dude. It doesn't get that hot from burning a flag. So, and then you escalated it further, so you knew it would be a crime. So you
Yeah.
see, so what the
No,
operator is going to
it
do,
can
what an
escalate.
operator is going to do, right? So they're going to take down your information. They'd be like, "What's your name? What's your number? Okay, just in case we have to call you back. All right." And then they send cops out, and they find that the people are just sitting around because what they actually did was they burned it in this giant bucket, right? Or they threw the remaining while it was still on fire or whatever before it put out. Threw it in a bucket. They didn't throw it on bushes. They're gonna call you back, sir, and be like, "Why did you file a false police report? Are you aware that
No,
that's
it's
a
not a
crime?"
false. No,
No, sir. If you say that
no, no.
somebody threw a burning flag into bushes and they go out there and
No,
no
I'm saying
bushes are on
they did
fire.
through. Let's say they
No,
did through
I
it.
don't think you're listening. Like, I gave you a peaceful scenario, right? Where nobody's injured,
Oh, okay
no
then.
one
Okay,
gets
we're doing
hurt.
peaceful scenario. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Yeah, because Muslim rights people get injured.
oh
They get ran
gosh.
over and stuff too.
Sir,
Yeah.
just stop. You
Okay.
literally want to bring everything up. Still, it's not here. This was not the scenario I was giving you. I literally just said there's
Okay.
3 men
Oh, I
doing it. No one's around. No one's
okay.
getting hurt. And
I
you're like,
became a
"We
little bit
threw it into the
realistic. Sorry.
bushes." They threw it into the bushes, which again is a false police report, which is in
No,
fact a
we are
crime.
talking about
Filing a
hypothetical.
false police report is a
No one
crime.
filed a false police report.
Yes,
This is
sir. If you then
hypothetical we are
told,
talking about in a private
right,
property.
and they would
Someone
call you
starting a
back
fire.
and be like, "You filed a false police report.
So you were
Why'd
saying
you
if
do that?" And
someone
depending
starts a
on what
fire
your
outside
answer
your
is, they might
residence.
go arrest you for filing a
Okay,
false police report.
okay. So let's make it a little bit better. In
No, I'm
your
good. I don't need to
no, in
continue
front
down
of
the
your door,
scenario.
someone starts a fire with a flag. I'm your
Well,
neighbor.
that would
You
be
don't
my
want me to call the
property.
cops.
That would be my
You want me
property,
to?
and that would be
Yeah,
a
you are not
crime.
home. You are on your lovely vacation to Bora Bora. You want me to look
So,
away?
yeah,
You want
no,
me to
I
look
don't
away
think you're
and let your
understanding
home?
this. That would be my property,
That's
which
Home
means
Depot's
that
property.
would be a crime. You said on my porch. On my porch, that would be physically my property, and that
That's
would
Home
be a
Depot's parking lot is Home Depot's
crime.
property. That's a crime. That's
Oh
not
my
a crime.
gosh.
But
And you already said that they
your
were
property is a
closed,
crime.
so yeah, bro.
So your door is closed too. No one can just come to your home in your front porch.
Bye.
Your
You're not listening. You're not understanding. I don't know what you're missing in the comprehension. We have quite a few to go through. I'm sorry. That was. I hope he's never my neighbor. 1 trillion Pentagon, millions more immigrants created. Yay! Thank you for the 5 Canadian. 2 men walked into a bar. The third one ducked. I wish I understood that joke, Bishop. I'm so sorry, but thanks for the bits. I was a refugee immigrant. Iran Contra created me. I was 5 years old. And you came into the United States, or are you in Canada? Welcome in. If you are in North America, welcome in. That's probably true, Kathy. But I'm not an immigrant. I'm a Central American Native American. Oh, so you're indigenous. That's even better. Actually, I love that. I honestly love that one. I'm glad you're here. Ain't that about a named Notestein? Nopestein. I like that one. If I say that again, just know it's a reference to you, rock and rolla. Nopestein. Thank you, Eric, for the jewels. In our days, it's not about we the people no more. Yeah, I know, Emmanuel. It definitely has not been about we the people anymore. Immigrants are not illegal. They're victims of U.S. wars. By international law, the U.S. is obligated to give them asylum criminally responsible. Yes, there are international treaties that say that we have to offer asylum. What did I say? Oh, yeah. I don't know. What did I miss? I love this nation. I uphold its constitution and support people exercising their rights to express displeasure with this nation. Exactly. Oh, that's why Ryan's laughing at me. Okay. Why do Americans call illegal immigrants aliens? Is it some law? It seems to me a way of dehumanizing the style of that the Reich did with the Jewish people. So yes, it actually is written into law that they are considered illegal aliens. I don't like the term, and I do agree that it is dehumanizing, but it actually is written into Title 8, unfortunately. Freedom of speech is not freedom from being offended. Offense is a personal choice. There we go. That's very true. That is very true. Offense is a personal choice. If I saw people burning a flag, I'd ask if I could toast some marshmallows. You mean roast? Yeah, guys, let's make some s'mores. Let's make s'mores. Hint for the joke. Bar has more than one definition. Yeah, they walked into the bar. One person was smart and ducked. Yeah. I'm not good at jokes. I'm really not. Thank you guys for all the support. We're going to go to open this back up. It's okay. I'm going to repeat something that someone said on Tuesday. For every insulting comment, I just gain 10 HP. So thank you. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Awesome. How old are you?
34.
Thanks, Trouble, for becoming a super fan. And are you still supporting Trump?
I wouldn't say necessarily support him. I'm pretty neutral. So there's a lot of things that I agree with. I mean, there's some things that I obviously don't, but I think that's kind of the same for pretty much all candidates or, current presidents.
Okay.
So I wanted to discuss some of the flag burning.
I'm good.
that you
I've
were talking
literally
about.
have talked about that for the last 50 minutes. I'm not doing it again.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So did you want to talk about the? I know you had discussed something about illegal immigrants.
Barely.
Okay. So what's your stance on illegal immigration?
I believe in opening better pathways to citizenship.
Sure. And I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think what's going on right now with
Inhumane.
deportations? Do you think it's inhumane? How do you think it should be handled?
Oh, let's see. Well, for one, we could not overcrowd them into small facilities on purpose. The mass deportations are literally a recipe for failure because we're crowding people into small spaces, right? And we're making them all stay there, right? In small spaces. Right. These people are not criminals unless they've literally have been convicted of a crime, because that's how our criminal justice system works within the United States of America. You are not a criminal unless you've been convicted of a crime. Okay? So unless they've been convicted of a crime, they're not criminals, and yet we are treating them as though they are criminals, packing them into small spaces and denying them access to things based off of what we've had on interviews with them that has been told, that's been corroborated by other people that have been in these detention centers. We have people literally missing from Alligator Alcatraz. We have people being deported out of the country without any information being updated to their attorneys, their next of kin, or anything like that, while people are not hearing from them actively, right? Which is at least when we arrest somebody, they get one phone call.
Sure.
Yeah.
And sure, I believe in due process.
Good. I would hope so. It's literally affirmed within the 5th and 14th Amendments.
Sure. And I think this is something that hasn't just been going on with Trump. This was clearly something.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's why Obama got sued by the ACLU. Yes. Biden got sued by the ACLU. Yeah, none of them are perfect. That's why I said I don't agree with mass deportations, because it's literally a recipe for disaster to occur, or for us to ignore what's occurring to human beings that haven't done anything wrong except for crossing an invisible line.
Yes. Do you think that it should be enforced? So do you think like in small scale deportations, or what's the solution to it in your opinion?
Yeah, smaller scale.
Okay.
So we're not
And I think I can agree
overcrowding
with
our
that.
detention facilities.
Hmm. Yeah, I can agree with that. What do you think people should be able to have the ability to waive their right to due process? So, for example, I recently had a conversation with a gentleman where his brother was detained at an ICE facility, but he wanted to waive his right to due process and he just wanted to get deported immediately. Now, because he was detained in an ICE facility and his, his ability to have due process and, have his day in court and whatnot, immigration hearings, that kind of prolonged his stay in these facilities, right? So, do you believe that should be an option, just to waive your right to due process and get immediately deported?
That's literally always been an option.
Hmm.
As far as like you can
Okay.
always have been able to waive your right to a due process.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about this specific individual because this person had waived their rights and wanted to be deported, and he had been in custody for an extended period of time. I want to say it was like maybe less than a year, but it was an extended stay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't help what happened to one person. And so what I'm saying is if they requested to be deported sooner, then yes.
Okay.
But they would
Okay.
probably
And
have to sign something,
yeah, sure.
right?
And I think that's fair. Yeah, I think we can
But
agree
I
with that.
also think it's very similar in a way that the United States might not have the capacity to deal with that immediately.
Yeah. And I could see, and this is one of the things that I don't agree with Trump, right? So I can agree with you that it could happen at a smaller scale, that we should target, you know, I'm in agreement that we should target violent individuals, and if they have the right to an appeal for the immigration hearings, and drag things on, but at some point they have to get deported, right? So I think that sometimes it's a little bit too lengthy. So I think that can be an issue, right? So while I do believe in the right to due process and appeals and all that, at some point you kind of have to draw the line on the sand and eventually deport them, right? And especially when it comes to violent individuals, people with sex crimes, I'm gonna go as far as saying even DUIs, because I think that it's a privilege to be in this country. And personally, I come from a family of immigrants, and my relatives came into this country to work. They eventually became citizens. I personally have a dual citizenship, so I think it is a privilege to be in this country.
Cool. So it'd be a privilege to be in any country on earth. So
Sure.
what you're saying is it's just
If
a
they want to be
privilege
there.
to just be alive.
Not necessarily.
No, I mean, if it's a privilege to be in the United States, it's a privilege to be in any country on earth, because we are not the only country. There's 196 recognized country in the entire world.
Mhm.
Two of them aren't even really countries; they're cities, but that's another matter. So it's a privilege to just exist in being alive.
Well, what I mean is
I'm
if you
sorry. It's
come
just
into
you
the
saying
country,
it's a privilege to be in the United States of America is basically saying that we're somehow above every other country, which I inherently disagree with, because I believe that people are created equal, right? And so therefore
yes.
that would also stand to reason that no country is above the other. So it is not a privilege to just exist within the bounds of the United States of America. Otherwise, I would say that somehow every person, regardless of who they were born to, should prove something to the United States, prove their worthiness of being a United States citizen in that regard. But we don't have that for people that were just born here or born to American citizens. So, yeah, I guess it's just
Well,
a privilege to be alive.
I disagree with that, because, so for example,
Well, then how is
if
it a privilege,
if
sir,
you
to
if
just
you are
be in the
willing
United States
if
of
you are
America?
if you are willingly coming into this country, right, whether it's illegally or legally,
Oh, you
right,
didn't quantify it
you're
previously, so
doing,
now we're shifting the
yeah.
goalpost?
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, if you want to call it that, but
It is, because that's not what you said originally. You
that's
just said it
what I.
was a privilege
Well,
to
that
be within the United States of America. You didn't bring it down to just be based upon what your status was or how you came into the country.
well, I mean, I was specifically talking about illegal immigration and immigrants, right?
Oh, but
So,
again,
so
you didn't
I
narrow
didn't
that
really shift the
down.
attention. So again, I'm talking about immigrants and illegal immigrants, right? If they're not being brought into this country by
They're
force,
being
right?
brought in.
So they are, well, unless there's human trafficking or something involved, right? So if they are coming into this country willingly,
Well, you're the one
it
who
is a
just said
privilege
that they
to be
were
here.
being brought in. So that's why I question that. It's like we're importing people, which people have said that before, and that's just a wild phrase.
Well, I don't think we might not be
Guys on TikTok,
bringing them
don't
in,
forget
but
to hit that
there are
follow
people that are
button.
being trafficked into the country.
And the likes are behind, guys. We should already been at
So,
125.
anyways, if I'm talking about willing immigrants, right? Whether they're legal or illegal, they are coming into the country willingly, and I think that is a privilege, right? So, if you are an illegal immigrant here in the United States, and I think that there should be a pathway to citizenship, but in that process, right? If it were up to me, and I'm just going to say this based off of my opinion, there should be a vetting process, and
There
part of that
is
vetting
one.
process, again, so part of that vetting process, right? And that's the reason why I don't agree with illegal immigration, right? So again, that's legal immigration. So if it's illegal immigration, right? People that are here already, they weren't properly vetted. Can you agree with that?
Oh, what, people that came in that we don't know about? Yeah, they wouldn't be vetted.
Yes. So they wouldn't have been vetted, right?
Cool.
So
Yeah, and we already know that based off of investigative journalists that about less than 9% of these illegal immigrants that you have so much fear for, obviously, are criminals in any country. So you're
it's not
literally scared of that, which means that we have more criminals that are United States citizens that were born here committing crimes. So
it's not necessarily about being scared. It's just part of the process, right? And
no,
we're
I mean, you
talking
just said
about
that
being vetted.
you're worried about
So
people that came in here that we don't know that weren't vetted properly. That again, like the majority of them, the vast majority of them have no criminal record in any country, period. So they would have passed the
you're
vetting
saying,
system if they were able to come in the right way, but they probably couldn't afford it because of all of the fucking things that we do to make it a hurdle to jump through because of how costly it is to become a citizen of the United States when you're from somewhere else, right?
so you're saying it's so I'm going to use your stats. You're saying that it's 9%.
Right.
Okay, so 9% out of how many millions of illegal immigrants?
Best estimate we have is about 12.6 million.
Okay, so how many millions of illegal immigrants would that be?
I don't know. I'm not pulling up a calculator right now. I'm doing other things.
Well, I mean that's quite a bit.
And
I
we
mean,
still have more, and we still have more. We still have more American citizens doing crimes than the illegal
Sure.
immigrants. Like
But they are, again, they are U.S. citizens. Again, we're talking about illegal immigration. They came into this country.
Okay. So it's okay
came
if a
into this
United
country
States
illegally.
citizen commits the crime because they're already a citizen of the United States. So we should just
That's
not
not what I'm
have
saying.
prisons anymore?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
Oh,
is that
but you just said it was
the
okay
people
that
that
they
came
commit
in here
crimes.
illegally-
You just said that it's okay that they commit crimes.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I never said that. No,
You
I
did.
said they are here legally, right? They are
Right.
U.S.
So I
citizens.
said,
So-
let's just rehash this real quick.
So again,
So we said
again,
that
they are here-
9% of 12.6 million people is still a lot, right? And then I
Yeah.
said, yeah, and American citizens still commit more crimes than that a year. More American citizens commit more crimes than that a year. And you're like, well, they're American citizens. So that was it. Okay, okie doke. That's okay because they're here.
No, you're implying that.
No,
not what
that
I
was
said.
your
What I'm
implication.
saying is that
That
what
was
I'm
your
saying is
okie
that
doke.
they are here.
That was
legally.
your
I do not
implication.
agree with crime.
That was your okie
No.
doke.
No, you're implying that. So what I'm
No,
saying
that
is
was
they are here
your
legally,
words.
right? If
Sorry, I
American
can't make
citizens-
implications
American
upon
citizens-
your words, sir. I cannot make implications upon your words. When you say the words, that's the implication that is applied. I make an inference. That would be me making the decision about it. That would be an inference. It's not an implication. It's an inference. Does
So
that
I
help?
said that American citizens are here legally, right? Illegal immigrants are not here legally. They were never properly vetted. There's 9%, which, according to your stats, would be maybe a couple million of illegal immigrants that are here committing crimes that should have never been here. There is due process for American citizens, and they will be prosecuted, right, according to state law or whatever, city ordinance law, if you want to go into infractions or whatever it may be, right? There is a due process, and there will be a due process for illegal immigrants. But the thing is that they should have never been here in the first place to break the law.
Says who?
Can we agree with that?
Says who? That they should never been here in the first place.
Well, right? If
No,
they're
I
here
said says
illegally, they're
who.
illegal immigrants. What do you mean?
I said says who. Who determines that they should have never been here in the first place? Says who?
Well, if they're illegal immigrants, they should have never been here, right?
Says who?
According to federal law.
According to what law?
So can somebody just cross the border,
What law?
or will they be arrested and deported?
What law?
Okay, I will look it up.
Okay.
So, I will reference that. Just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So it is Title 8 of the U.S. Code, administered by the U.S. agencies.
Okay, cool. So there are 436 codes within Title 8. Which one are you referencing?
Let's see.
And that's just what pertains to immigration.
Well, I mean, I don't want to waste time looking it up, but
Oh, of course, yeah.
if it's going to be in Title 8, right?
It's all good.
So if it's going to be found within Title 8,
8 U.S. Code
So-
1158, you have 364 days once entering the country to claim asylum. And you can cross whether or not through a port of entry or through a non-port of entry. So I hope that helps. I can at least reference you one out of the
so you're-
436 laws that are referenced in specifically to laws about immigration within Title 8 of our United States Code, because that's how laws work. You can't just say Title 8 and drop it like
That's
it's
not-
all like,
that's-
boo,
you're
they are
referencing
literally allowed to enter into the
asylum.
country illegally, right? Because the very beginning of Title of 8 U.S. Code 1158 is that you have to be on U.S. soil, and it literally says whether or not you've come through a port of entry, whether or not you have come through a port of entry, or you've been interdicted within international waters, which means they brought you ashore,
So you are
right?
talking-
So
you are talking
again,
about the asylum
yeah,
process,
so
right?
yeah, because that
And
is a
you are- and
legal
you are talking
process,
about
and
due
you
process.
can come in and you
that is
can
an
be
im-
here
that is an immigration hearing.
illegally for 364 days before claiming
And-
asylum. I hope that helps.
Yes.
He wasn't really a Trump supporter anyways, so he was already annoying me. But when I'm asking you, what law, be specific. When I'm saying says that they're all here illegally, be specific. You're not giving me any answers. Again, when there's an actual law that supports somebody being here for 364 days illegally or undocumented, then you don't make the determination that somehow all of these people have been past that time. We can say the majority of them probably are past that time, okay? But again, the majority of them never even commit a crime. So you're just so upset that they just exist here paying taxes. Okay. Paying into Social Security. Okay. That's cool, bro. Just living, just existing, just paying taxes into the system. Let me catch up on these chats. Also, TikTok, we're a little bit behind on the likes. We need to be at 150 likes in the next 5 minutes, please. And if you're new here on TikTok, be sure to hit that follow button. On the red app, it's subbing, and on the purple app, it's also hitting follow. But let me read through some of these chats. Moose, I wish I knew why. Thank you for the New Zealand 20. Why do Americans only think that undocumented in America only come from crossing the southern border when a huge number of undocumented people are people who have overstayed their visas versus immigrants crossing the border? Because that's who Donald Trump has been demonizing since 2015. And all they know is brown people bad, or someone that speaks Spanish bad. Trump, with bipartisan support, created a 7.3 million Venezuelan immigrant crisis during his first presidency. He did. And then he also granted Venezuelans on his last day, January 19, 2021, in office, signed an executive order granting them temporary protective status. Isn't that interesting? You cross the border illegally, you're a criminal. Andy, look up Arizona v. United States 2012. Supreme Court decision. In order to be considered a criminal, and this is not referencing that case, but in order to be considered a criminal based off of a United States law, you have to have been convicted of a crime. Not accused, convicted of a crime. That's why they're not criminals. Just being here undocumented, it does not make someone a criminal. But thank you for the 2. No, the caller did not understand that there's a legal requirement for a valid waiver of certain rights. He didn't understand that one at all. And thank you for the €5 from Mr. Irrelevant. Lockjaw, if citizenship is easier to obtain, would the job market still suffer? Have everyone negatively be affected as things get inflated? Thoughts. Okay, hold on. If citizenship is easier to obtain, would the job market will suffer? Okay, sorry. I'm having to re-break down your English, and I'm sorry about that. Also, mods, there is a spammer in the TikTok chat. Please get that one. Let's see. Yes, there is a potentiality for the job market to suffer, as it already has been. That is true. But as of right now, despite the deportations that are occurring, we currently have less jobs available than we have available workers. So right now we are this way on jobs. We're not doing great. So even deporting them has not created a better job market at this time. If you destabilize a country for their oil, Venezuela, die and create millions of immigrants, you're a criminal. Yeah, Donald Trump. Okay. Yep. Sanctions that he placed on Venezuela. Very true. You're welcome, Donald Duck. Thank you for standing up to these foolish people. I try. Better to hear to speak or listen to understand. Well, you should listen to understand. Lockjaw. Thank you, Lindsay, for the $1.99. Not talking about immigration if not including 7.3 million Venezuelan immigrants created by the U.S. That's not illegal immigration. It's a U.S. crime. It's a good point, too. That would be, what, a international crime? Sounds like it to me, at least. If I put the flag on a cake, eat it, then pass it in a protest, am I a criminal? This timeline sucks, bro. You know what? Eating an American flag might just be illegal according to Donald Trump. That'd kind of be funny. Dog formerly known as a cat. I love that username too. Thank you, Lynn, for the 2. And thank you, Judy, for the jewels. We're going to go ahead and open up these phone calls. Hopefully no one else that's just stuck on the same subject. They love doing that. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah,
Awesome. How old are you?
25.
25. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So why are you still supporting Donald Trump 8 months into his presidency?
Because everything he's doing is good for the country.
Everything he's
necessarily.
doing is good for the country. So, with
Yeah.
passing of the One Big Beautiful Bill, an estimated 10 to 17 million people losing access to their health care, that's good for the country?
Yeah.
How?
Because everything he's doing is good for the country.
So, you have no
You
thoughts of
just
your own?
nope, none at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least he could admit it, I guess. Can we take a serious caller? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yep.
Yep. How old are you?
Yep. 17. Is that a problem?
It is. Sorry, you TikTok terms of service. You have to be 18. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
31.
31. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a serious person?
Am I a serious person? Yes, I am a serious
So
person.
you're not here to troll.
No, I'm not here to troll.
Cool.
Not at all.
Sorry, the last person literally said that he had no thoughts of his own. So that was a troll.
Gotta love
Felt-
people like that, right?
It felt like it was a relevant question at that point. Okay. 8 months into Donald Trump's presidency, what has he done to still earn your support?
Well, let's frame the question a different way, I guess. What has he done to take away my support? Epstein files, number one. Number two, I believe the support of the wars, the ongoing wars that we have going on, has been relatively disingenuous. What has he done to retain my support? I believe immigration is one of them. I believe that utilizing military action against the cartels is another one of them. We can get into any of those issues deeper. There are more, but do you want to touch on any of those?
Okay, so you're for the bombing of random boats in international waters?
Well, it's not random boats. I would disagree with that statement. I think
Oh,
that's,
are you not aware that there's actually already like existing standards on what you do if you believe that someone is trafficking drugs in the ocean in international waters?
well, of course, right? But then
You're
we can bring it
supposed to
back to the
interdict
conversation about
them.
Obama.
You're supposed to interdict
his
them
drone
and
strike.
then look at them and investigate, because the most recent one, because you're aware that he recently bombed a fourth boat, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you do realize that's with Colombia. It wasn't a
Correct.
Venezuelan boat, and now Colombia is very upset.
Colombia is also one of the largest exporters of cocaine that comes into the United States, and a lot of it has fentanyl within it.
Yeah, but still no proof that they were transporting drugs.
The question becomes,
No,
where does
where's the proof? There should be proof provided that they were transporting drugs, because the amount of people on those boats are suspicious. We've had one woman that came out and said that the first fishing like the boat that was shot by our military, her husband was on there and he's a fisherman. It was his boat going out to go fishing, right? There's also a lot of people on there. There's if these people are so horrible as Donald Trump likes to claim, that they are somehow, they're all trafficking drugs, they're trafficking humans, then there's a high potential that not only did we kill people that are criminals, right, in their own country or doing illegal shit, that we killed innocent civilians that were kidnapped by these people.
I don't think there is an argument against that, right? Now, obviously, that could be the case.
Yeah, that's why we have to stop these boats and interview them and check them out to see.
I would agree with you with that sentiment.
Right, because we know that drug cartels unfortunately also get themselves involved in human trafficking, and that's not okay. So we should look.
At what point does our due process within the United States pertain to international waters?
Oh, no, it's international law, sir. International
Right.
law exists and governs international waters. We're still supposed to interdict them and investigate, because otherwise, guess what? We have tons of fishing boats that go into international waters that carry American citizens. Because, again, like, we have drug cartels by American citizens in the United States of America that traffic drugs as well that we make here, that we take them other places, right? So if, let's
And what
say,
drugs would you be referring to there?
oh, I mean, probably mostly meth, but also prescription drugs that they steal or
Prescription
buy
drugs would
from
be
other
different,
people.
obviously, because that's legalized within our system as it
Right,
is
if it's
at the moment.
prescribed to you, but it's illegal to take someone else's prescription drugs. Cool.
I
So
mean, we're getting
again,
into
we
muddy waters.
traffic, no, because we have American drug dealers that traffic this stuff, including ecstasy, which we make here in the United States as well. And then we send it to other countries because we're not alone here. Horain also gets made here as well. And I might have said that wrong. It's HYORAIN that we send out there as well. But we also take these drugs to other
Wait.
countries.
Can you say that one more time? Can you spell it one more time?
HYORAIN. Cool. So we take drugs from the
I'm
United
not
States
familiar
and
with
we
that,
send
so I
it
can't
to
argue
other
that.
countries. We're not
We're not talking
above
about
innocent of
heroin, are
that.
we?
No.
Are we talking about heroin?
No.
Heroin?
Aslan might have meant heroin, but I don't think so. Sorry. But I don't know. But we sell ecstasy to other countries. Like, that's the point, right? We transport drugs to other countries. So you're telling me that because, let's say, Guatemala assumes that the United States has been selling ecstasy within Guatemala, that they can now shoot out a fishing boat that it's a United States fishing boat in their international waters, it's just close by because they're getting close to their ports. And that would be perfectly legal for their military to kill United States citizens without investigating the claim that they're carrying drugs. Right? That would be
Well,
totally
like you
legal.
said, perfectly legal, correct?
No, I'm asking you. That would be perfectly legal because we're doing it, so it must be legal if other countries doing it.
Well, it's a very disingenuous argument. Just because we're doing it,
It's
does mean
not a
perfectly
disingenuous
legal.
argument. It's called making sure that your logic applies.
Well, would the logic apply to us?
My
shipping
logic
drugs to other
being
countries,
applied to that
and then other
situation
countries
says that
bombing the drug
Guatemala
boats
says
that
that
we're shipping?
Guatemala should be stopping the boat and investigating them to make sure that they have drugs. But the new American logic would be for the people that are supporting this idea that military action against drug cartels in the middle of international waters is okay on the assumption that they have drugs. Guatemala should be able to bomb our boats out of the water
Under the assumption.
under the assumption that they carry drugs. That would be consistent with your logic.
That would be consistent, yes, and I would say that at the end of the day, yes. But the problem becomes, where is any level of, and like you said, we should look into these things, right? But at what point do we not take? Okay, let me rephrase it. Let me start over. At what point does the potential eventuality supersede the repercussions?
Oh, so I mean, would it not be fair that we've bombed out 3 Venezuelan ships so Venezuela could in fact take actions against us? In Colombia as
ask
well,
that question
because
one more
we've
time.
bombed out 1?
Ask that question one more time. Sorry.
You just asked about potentials for further escalation, correct?
Correct.
Correct. So I believe with that regard, then yeah, absolutely, Venezuela has every right to take further escalations against us because we've bombed out 3 of their ships
Oh, I agree. 100%.
with no proof.
I agree. 100%.
Cool. And so does Colombia because we took out 1.
Sure.
And then under that same logic, the United States would have the same ability if, let's say, in my scenario, Guatemala blew up an American boat.
Right. I agree.
Cool.
I believe that at the end of the day, a country has to protect their own sovereignty, and we have a massive drug crisis in this country. And if we, as they came out and said, which I don't believe the government in every word that they said, but they came out and said that they had irrefutable evidence I think is the word that they used, that they were carrying narcotics within those boats.
Oh, yeah. Donald Trump's irrefutable evidence was
What
the
if it was Joe
heat
Biden?
signature left over.
What if it was Joe Biden's irrefutable logic? Or
Oh,
irrefutable
I would
proof?
still be against it,
Would that be a
sir.
problem?
I literally would still be against it.
Okay, very good. Well, I think we agree on something.
Yeah,
In
and
that
Donald
sense.
Trump's irrefutable evidence was the heat signature left behind on their infrared, where he showed there was white in the water, guys. It was literally left over from.
So let's say this. I
the
mean,
heat residue.
obviously, Donald Trump is not the mouthpiece for this country. Donald Trump is not the mouthpiece for the party as a whole, I would argue. Obviously, take it from an overarching perspective, of course he is, because he's the president. But does that mean that Donald Trump's logic applies to everyone that believes in Republican ideals? I don't believe so. What I do believe is we have an epidemic in this country, and it's very difficult to wait. And then what are we supposed to do with these people? Use American tax dollars to house them, to go through an investigation? Yes, I agree that there should be some level of due process in that scenario.
Now, when you interdict them within international waters, there's no guarantee that you're taking them back to the United States, dude. That's not how
I agree with you.
interdictments work. You can literally force them to turn around or follow them to
Interdictment?
make sure that they don't stop at an American port.
You mean interdiction?
Yes.
I'm trying to follow. I'm not trying to insult you.
No, you're fine. Interdictions.
So, with that being said, if there was, hypothetically, right, there was confirmed drug or narcotic trafficking scenarios happening within those things, within those boats, would that be a justification to bomb them? Or do you believe that
No,
we should
they
give
still
them
need
the
to be
due process?
stopped. No, it's not due process, dude. Again, that's not what I'm saying. You have to stop and investigate it because, again, just because we know at least one person on the phone might be proof that they're traveling with narcotics. That does not mean that every person on that boat is complicit in the crime because there could be innocents.
If you steal a car and you're inside of a stolen car, you automatically assume that level of implicit. What's the word I'm looking for? You automatically assume that these people are a part of that crime, and they get charged with that crime. It happens every single day.
Oh, okay. So, like, if I'm like in the trunk of the car that's stolen,
Well, if
that
you're
I'm
in the
going to get
trunk of the
charged
car,
with the
that's a
car.
whole different scenario. Then you're
Yeah, and
kidnapped.
what if people were tied up in the bottom of the boat? In the home space, like the places where people can sit
hypothetical
down and
scenario,
shit.
that's
No, I'm
pretty
just saying.
ridiculous.
Excuse me, like, no, sir, it's not just a hypothetical situation. We don't know where all of the people were on the boat when they were killed
Well,
in waters, dude.
When you look at these boats that were bombed, these were not multi-level vessels.
No, but you still have a
Period, point
place to
blank.
go and hide, and we don't know if people were tied up
Where?
that was
Where do you
also
go
on
and hide on
there.
a single level canoe, basically, is what they were utilizing.
Oh yeah, is that why one boat had 11 people on it? It was a canoe.
Okay. I mean, I will give you that, right? Obviously, it wasn't a canoe.
Right,
But
and
it
a
wasn't
canoe
a
would
yacht.
never make it to the United States from Venezuela.
That's not true. That's not true. And
Yeah,
I
it would
agree,
take somebody that
canoe
actually
as
has a lot
an
of
unpowered
arm
canoe
strength
would
in
not do
order
that,
to do
right?
it. Yeah.
What I am saying is that, yes, there were 11 people on the boat. Sure. Okay.
Yep.
But
And there's a good
these
potentiality if
boats,
they really were drug cartel members that there was also somebody there that didn't want to be on that boat because they participate in human trafficking.
Right? There is a possibility. There's a
It's a
possibility
huge
that
possibility.
the sky is green at the same time. There's a possibility that,
You'd be more accurate to say that the sky is purple.
Okay. I mean, you can argue that because I live in Colorado, so at the same time, the sky can be purple sometimes.
No,
with our sunset.
purple is a shade of blue.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Purple is a shade of blue.
Okay, well, I mean, you said it, so
If you
I
if
mean,
it's
what are
if
we
you're
arguing?
saying it's within the realm of possibility, then yes, you'd be
Well,
more apt to
we have
say
purple
that
skies here in Colorado for
the
us on Texas.
sky is purple.
Right. I don't understand the question that you're asking me.
It wasn't a question.
Okay. What statement are you trying to make? It's in the same realm of possibility? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Here's what I'll say. Just because there could potentially be a scenario where there is innocent people within a scenario where there is drug trafficking involved, I agree that innocent people should never be killed. But there should never be a scenario where that's happening in the first place. And to eradicate that and to prevent that from happening, there has to be a show of force. This is war. I believe that this is war. Do you
Yay,
disagree?
Ronald Reagan, retake in 2025.
I'm just asking, do you disagree that the drug war is not a war?
Handle the issues that are at home.
Well, right. These are issues that are affecting home.
And we make drugs here in the United States of America. Fentanyl is literally created in America as well.
Ecstasy is not a problem in America. Ecstasy does not kill people at the rate in which fentanyl and cocaine and heroin affect Americans.
Yeah, deaths from fentanyl had been going down in 2023 and 2024 significantly.
Significantly is at what rate? 3%, 4%, 7%. We're killing tens of thousands of Americans every year, and there's no way anybody can deny that.
Yes, and so does meth. And so does ecstasy. You can overdose on ecstasy, sir.
You can overdose
on
weed if you smoke
opioids.
900
People
joints in a day.
overdose from their prescription medications all the time.
You can't argue in any way, respectfully. And I respect you and I respect what you're doing. But you can, and alcohol, I agree. Alcohol is a big problem. That's a whole other conversation. But what I will say is this. You cannot compare fentanyl to any bit of any other drug, period, including heroin.
Why not? Because you do
cannot
realize that the difference is between fentanyl and heroin is that fentanyl is also a legal drug that can be prescribed. Are you aware of that?
Fentanyl is a legal drug that you can be prescribed, and
It
that's what
can
it
be
always
prescribed,
has been.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, so when we're saying that fentanyl is made in the United States,
yes, of course.
when we're saying that it's made here in the United States, that's because it is. It is a
Fentanyl
prescription
is not
medication.
made in the United
It
States.
it is made in the United States, sir. It's not just made internationally and brought here. We make it in the United States. We have pharmaceutical companies that make it within the United States. The reason why Donald Trump went after China, Canada, and Mexico back in February is because, yes, it does cross our borders those ways. How does China get fentanyl, the pieces that make up fentanyl, into the United States? By mail, right? This isn't a strictly southern border thing or South American country thing. This is an international, worldwide problem for the way
comes across the border, and it doesn't come across the border by people backpacking it. The majority of fentanyl comes into the United States, especially illicit fentanyl, specifically. Illicit fentanyl, when I say illicit, I mean fentanyl that is produced in other countries that is brought across the border solely for the purpose of resale to consumers that are United States citizens or people within the United States. Now, that comes across the border not by people, not by Mexican nationals backpacking it over the border.
I didn't even say that. The majority of the majority of the fentanyl that is smuggled into the United States across our southern border, across our northern border, 83% of that is stopped by United States citizens. It's literally United States citizens carrying it. Yes, according
Customs
to
and Border Patrol?
Customs and Border Patrol, 83% of all people that are caught attempting to smuggle fentanyl anywhere through a port of entry, which also includes our airports, sir, is carried by American citizens.
Sure. Whether that be the case, I don't have the statistics in front of me, so I can't argue that point of it. What I will say is that this is a disease. Fentanyl is the most dangerous chemical that's ever come across our population, period, point blank. Now, in medical procedures, sure, you get fentanyl when you're dying. You get fentanyl when you have stage 4 cancer. You get fentanyl after you came out of a ridiculous surgery that you need to be on massively ridiculous, in my opinion, levels of painkillers. Okay. The reality is,
You saying that there are ridiculous surgeries that require painkillers? Oh, I think I would have loved to hear that
stage
when I
4
was
cancer,
14
yes.
and literally had my
Heart
back cut open.
surgeries,
That's
in a
not
sense.
ridiculous, sir.
Ridiculous is a subjective word, and we can argue the
No, it's an outlandish
definition
word
of
when
ridiculous.
people have surgeries that
Not
they
outlandish, it's
also,
not
when
ridiculous.
somebody is cut open, they might require a painkiller while their body is attempting to heal.
I agree. What I will say about that is that the illegal trade of fentanyl is so powerful that
Yeah, so what I would
police
encourage you to
officers,
do is
hold on,
look up where
police
the majority of fentanyl actually comes from, because the majority of it is exactly what I said, that it's sent all over the world from China.
China,
Which you just want to keep
correct.
saying that
Thank
it's.
you for saying that. I appreciate you being
I
honest
did.
about
I
that.
said that,
correct.
and you're like, no, it comes from Mexico. You weren't listening, so now you agree with me because I
that's not
phrased
what I
it
said. I
slightly
never
different.
said fentanyl came from Mexico. If I did, then I apologize. What I meant was the illicit trade comes through our southern border through Mexico.
Oh, you just said
That's
it
what
didn't
I
all
meant.
come
If I
through
did
our
say it
southern
came
border.
from Mexico, then I am obviously I never meant to say that, and I apologize to all your viewers and you if I did say that. What I meant to say was the illicit trade comes through Mexico. Period, point blank. And also comes through Canada. There's no two ways about that.
And it comes to us through the
seen
mail.
Studies, and yes, it comes through the mail as well. But here's the point, is that just because things come through other avenues, does that mean that we should not attack or tackle the
Do we kill
significant-
people without knowing if they're doing this thing that we've determined to be illegal? No.
I agree with you, but I also
Cool.
I
It's
also
gonna
will have a
always be my
challenge to that.
stance.
Well, I have a challenge to that, which would be, at what point do we put our hands up and say, "Oh, this is happening. This is what it is."
Oh, okay,
This
so you
is
just want to
life now."
declare war on multiple countries?
No.
Which also means
absolutely
we'd
not.
also have to declare war upon ourselves, which I mean, I guess Donald Trump is already technically doing that.
Correct.
So
Now,
yeah.
technically doing that, declaring war against ourselves, is definitely a stretch. But,
No,
I hear
he
what you're
literally did, because Illinois didn't activate their National Guard to go into Chicago, and he sent
Correct.
another state's National Guard into Chicago. He literally started war. He literally
That wasn't
said
for the fentanyl
that
crisis.
he literally said on September 29th to our commanders of our United States military that we were going to use the United States as a training ground for our military. There is no, we're not really declaring war on the United States, but he literally said it to our commanders of our United States Armed Forces that it's okay, and he believes that we should use America as the training ground for them. When you
I agree,
send
and I think
another
that-
state's
I know what he
National
said.
Guard
I heard what he said.
into a whole
I heard
other
what he said.
state because they refuse to use their own National Guard, that is literally invading them.
Now, I
It
agree with
goes
you. I will agree
against
with you in that sense.
the
We're on the same page in that sense.
NGA.
We're on the same page in that sense. Now, let me ask
Yeah.
you. The crime in
No.
Chicago, regardless of fentanyl, we're not talking about fentanyl anymore. Now we're talking about crime rates and statistics. Okay?
crime
The
is
crime rate.
at an all-time low compared, I think, going all the way back to 1989. Like, it's at its absolute lowest since 1989. It's the lowest point that it's been since 1989.
Have you ever been to a website called HeyJackass.com?
Maybe you should go. Exactly, Jen. Crime is at an all-time low nationally. Okay. I'm going to read through some of these chats. Sorry for the delay. Also, again, over on TikTok, while I'm reading through these, if you can double tap that screen, I appreciate it. Also, if you're new here and you like what you're hearing, or maybe you don't like it and you want to see what I do, hit that follow button. I'm okay. I'm good with hate follows. I thrive off of your hate. Thank you, Gohart, for the 600 jewels. Happy early birthday. I'm all right, Frost King. Iran Contra, which created me, former immigrant, told us the DEA who controls the cartels. The U.S. is the biggest drug. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say, rock and rolla. Thank you, Judy, for the party hat. At the same time, the U.S. took Afghanistan poppies. The opioid crisis started. Coincidence? No. Are you guys aware that if you eat poppy seeds, you can fail a drug test? Sorry, just a random question. In Crit, while I think everybody would love to see that, she has already at least made her stance pretty firm that she is not going to run for president. And I wouldn't blame her after the unalivement threats that the Obama family received thanks to Donald Trump and his Russia hoax that he keeps going. That's funny, though. John Cena 2028. That is funny. Incorrect. It's not even in the top 10 worst crime stats in the entire country. It's not. Okay. We have time for one more caller and another one. Thank you for seconding Rock and Rolla. And thank you, Jack, as well, for the 20. I appreciate that, guys. All right. We'll see if we have time for one more short conversation, and then I got to go pick up a kid. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Awesome. How old are you?
5.
I'm sorry. How old?
25.
25. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Donald Trump has been in office for 8 months. What has he done that's still worthy of your support?
Well, he's done everything to help the country, but I had a question, Ari. Say to somebody how he pronounced the word Iran. You pronounce it Iran.
Correct.
Correct?
Uh-huh.
So how would you pronounce Mexico, Brazil, and all those other countries, the Hispanic countries?
Mexico, Brazil.
Okay, so in those countries, how do you think they pronounce America?
Let's see. In Spanish, it's literally America.
Okay, do we say America like America or America?
Oh, does it offend you that I pronounce other countries' names correctly?
America or America?
I think you just glitched.
When they say America, do they say America or America?
Are you good? Or are you glitching out? Wasn't me. That's what I thought he was. I thought the call was glitching or something. So it literally just sounded like he. Yes, I know Brazil speaks Portuguese. Like, I don't get it. We have. I don't know if people realize this, but we have city names that are not English. We have an entire state. At least, sorry, there's more than one state, but Yes, I know it would be Estados Unidos, but also they call us Americans, right? Like Americanas, Americanos as well. But like Texas is really Tejas. It's not Texas. Pueblo, which is a town in Colorado, is literally Spanish for town. Pueblo means town. Louisiana is French. Los Angeles, which be like Mesa, Arizona, literally Table, Arizona. Boise, Idaho. El Paso, Florida. Iowa is Navajo. Thank you, Jen. Montreal, San Jose, San Antonio, Yosemite. These are not English words. I will mess that up so bad, Dia. So if you want to like type out that pronunciation, Montpellier, Pellier, I think it would be, it's like, these are not English words. Galveston, it's not English. Illinois, not English. Ohio isn't even English. Poughkeepsie, okay. Worcester. Nevada. Massachusetts. Poughkeepsie. Like, why is it so offensive when I say Iran or Israel or Bangladesh, Mexico, Brazil? Why is it so offensive to use the correct pronunciation for other countries? It's just off for the moment, Henry. I don't understand why that's so offensive when, again, we have states in the United States of America that aren't even English words. Right, it would be Los Angeles. Does that make you feel better, Jack? Tallahassee? Like, if you want me to be, like, completely out there for you to really make you mad, Germany is not Germany. It's Deutschland. I don't know, Astro, but people seem to get really mad when I use correct pronunciations of other countries in their names. Thanks, Jake. Jake said, as a conservative, I'd say that Guy's argument was D-U-M-B. And I agree. Yeah, it'd be Italia in Roma. That's true. And I'm so sorry that I just was taught the correct way to say Iran, and that somehow makes you all so mad. I wasn't telling people, and I'm not saying I pronounced them all correctly, Robert. It's not, and I'm not telling people how to speak. I was just making a statement for people that want to get mad. Massachusetts is Native American. Hey, yeah. I love that one. It's such a weird one. Actually, the weirdest one is Mississippi. Mostly because of how it's spelled. It's a little bit weird. Okay. TikTok, don't freak out for a second. I'm gonna mute you for a moment. Don't freak out. Be right back. Okay. Over on Twitch, thank you guys for being here. If there are still a few people in there, if you are new here and you haven't hit that follow button yet, feel free to hit that follow button over on Twitch, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So I appreciate, yeah, it's like people can't ever say my name. That's a very good point, Monica. They never can say my name correctly. And over on YouTube, sorry, I won't see you guys tomorrow, my bad. Over on YouTube, if you guys hit that subscribe button before you leave, make sure you guys hit that bell so you get the notifications when I go live. I will not be on tomorrow. Fridays are my day off. I had an accidental day off on Monday, accidental day off yesterday because of YouTube having errors. YouTube, horrible. Stop it. Let's not freak out. So I will see you guys back on Saturday at about 12 noon Eastern time on all platforms as per usual. So I'll see you guys back on then.